Hello and welcome to the Invisible Man YouTube channel, brought to you by me, Stephen. This is the first in what will hopefully be a bi-weekly show of around about 10-15 minutes each, which will summarize this week, whether that's news, previews, transfer rumours, transfer happenings, player ratings, etc. And we'll also be joined, I think, by guests from other fans in those match previews as well. So a bit about me. Why am I doing this? Well, I've been threatening to do a YouTube channel for years. I thought about doing it with a United friend of mine. We're going to do a City/United channel, but we never got it off the ground with diaries and such like. So we never did it. We're going to City now since the early 90s. First game was in Main Road, home to Sheffield United in 1992 or 93, I think it was. We won 1-3-2, and that was the start for me. Currently a season ticket holder, sitting in the South Stand. Been to Champions League finals, FA Cup finals. Some have won, some have lost. Playoff finals, which we obviously won, but unfortunately, I'm one of the few who never made it to York away. So you can put that on the one negative, if you like. So we're going to see how it goes. Really, please do like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and if there is an appetite, then I'll keep doing these. If not, then I probably won't. So what's happened this week? First of all, positive news. Nico O'Reilly signed a new contract and will wear the number 33 shirt. I love Nico O'Reilly. I think he has everything to be one of the best players in this division, and certainly one of the best players in our team. I tweeted after the Charity Shield 12 months ago that I thought he was Patrick Vieira and Rodri rolled into one. And whilst I was a little bit tongue-in-cheek, I do think I stand by that in terms of his overall ability and the material point that I think he can go on to great things. Now, this season, I think he'll struggle to get in the team, but I suppose that's the job, isn't it? You know, if you want an easy life, go and play for Brighton or Brentford or someone or West Ham. But no, if you want to be a key part, certainly in the squad or key part of the first 11 for one of the best teams in the country, then you've got to work hard for it. And he seems like he will. He's got everything that you need. You know, he's got work ethic, can play several positions. He's tall. One of the few players who knew where the net was for us last season. He scored some very key goals, and I think it'll be brilliant. And I'm really glad he signed a new contract. I don't usually get too bogged down on youth players, whether they stay or whether they go. I couldn't really give a monkey's one way or the other, really. I'm not that bothered. The reality is 1% of the 1% will make it. So that's sort of the view I take. However, with this guy, and you know, we'll go back to the Foden days when he was coming through. The idea of letting people like this leave the club is for the birds, as far as I'm concerned. The talent was obviously there. I know Cole Palmer's gone. I know all that, but you know, I thought 40 million was a good price for him at the time. It looked good, but I thought 40 million was a good price at the time. Now, obviously wrong there, but you know, he's played well for Chelsea, played well for England. But you can't keep everyone, can you? You can't keep everyone. So but I'm glad we've kept him, and I'm very, very excited to see what he can do for us in the coming season and beyond. Okay, so transfers. A few transfers have come in. Nori from Wolves. I've seen him in the Club World Cup. Like him a lot. Seems like everything would be missing, really, on that left-hand side. He seems quick, very good on the ball, overlaps, which we've not had since God was a boy, really. I can't remember the last time someone was consistently and properly overlapping as a professional left-back, not just filling in. So excited about him. He played for Nuno at Wolves. I'm sure he was there then. So obviously has defensive capabilities, and he looks like he can offer a lot to us going forward. So the big tick in that box. He's got Premier League experience as well, good age, good price as well. So yeah, what's not to like? Next, we've got Reinders, who, was he midfielder of the year in Italy last year, or one of the players of the year, something like that last year. Seen the Club World Cup, looks very, very good in terms of what he could do for us. He gets his head up, good on the ball, pass forward, good quality of pass. Looks like he'll fit in a glove, like a glove in our team. I think he's going to be excellent for us. I didn't see a second of AC Milan last year, so I'll be honest on that front. I had no idea how he played over there, but he won plenty of awards by the sounds of it. So yeah, and again, very good price, good age, international, big club experience. I assume he played in the Champions League at some point with AC Milan, but if not, we can worry about that later. But I'm sure that won't be a problem. And yeah, very, very excited to see him. Him and Nori, I imagine he'll be straight in the first team against Wolves, and I think that'll lift the floor of our team. Absolutely, they're two positions we really need to see improvement in. And Cherki from Lyon. Now, again, I didn't see a second of Lyon last year, so I'm not going to pretend I know an awful lot about this guy. But I did see him at the Club World Cup, and whilst you can argue about the standard of that, the intensity of that, this, that, and the other, that ball he played for Foden, and that goal, you can't play that ball if you're not a serious football player. So no, I thought that pass was out of this world, and if he can get sort of played for that sort of first or second role off the bench part in his early career at City, and then settle in and then produce stuff like that, then yeah, I think we've got someone really, really good who can obviously develop and go further. Unfortunately, it seems that we're not going to be getting a right back. Now, you can't have everything, can you? However, I think that is a massive hole in our team. I think going into the season with Rico Lewis, Akanji, and Nunes as your right back options are they're not up to it. They're not up to it. Akanji, yeah, and I keep him on the strength of us not getting a right back. I think he's versatile enough, he's quick enough, strong enough, decent enough. I'm going to put last season behind us with Akanji. It's clear he's playing when he's pretty unfit, but he generally gives us a 7 out of 10, and he's been decent enough at right back for us. So I'd play him there as long as he doesn't go forward. I was at the FA Cup final and watched him play that sort of attacking right back role, and I felt like putting pins in my eyes, honest to God. So no, get him as a solid right back, sort of third, the right centre halves, and have Ignori bombing on, and I think that could do us. But the Nunes to start a right back, goodness me, I think he's dreadful. And I know people say, oh, he's the second quickest player in the league or something. Well, yeah. Cool story, bro. It really doesn't interest me. I don't think he's anywhere near composed enough. I don't think he's anywhere near calm on the ball enough in terms of composure after his initial mistake. We all saw United at home in the FA Cup, in the league rather. What was that? Bournemouth in the FA Cup away. What was that? Bournemouth at home. What was that? I think I'm going to say an accident waiting to happen, but he's an accident that has happened, and it has happened several times. So unless the coaching staff can work miracles with this guy and get him anything like a normal right back in terms of defensive capabilities and defensive positioning and strength and general knowledge of how to play that position, I think we're gonna have problems if he's starting. I really do. But hopefully he can do all right. And hopefully between the three options I gave, Lewis, Nunes, and Akanji, hopefully three can make one half decent right back. And in the next 12 months, they can identify somebody who can play that role long term. I mean, talking about Dumfries, maybe at 25 million. I mean, people say they don't like short term options. Well, the reality is every option is a short term option. If you buy him for 80 million and he turns out to be rubbish, he's a short term option, isn't it? Because he'll be gone. So no, if this Dumfries was half as decent as people were saying he was, I'd have had him. I mean, a professional right back as far as I'm concerned, not some Wolves midfield player just shoved in there. The drop off from Kyle Walker in his prime to some Wolves midfield player at right back. No, it's not for me. Not for me. Okay, let's move on to the outs. Who's gone of any note? No one really. Kev went. KDB went. He went at the end of the season, but that was in the post from April. So I think we don't have to touch on that, do we? He's past it as far as I'm concerned at Premier League level. I'm sure he'll do okay over there. And if we play him in the Champions League, we do. And if we don't, we don't. But yeah, all the best, Kev. But I don't think we have to say anything more on that. Simpson Pussy off to Celtic on loan. Yeah, pleased with that. He looked decent enough. I know people say he had a nightmare at Sporting Lisbon away, but he was the young defender. You know, I'd point the finger at the other 10 players on the pitch before I looked at him. Hopefully he can go over there, have a good season, and then maybe get a good Premier League move after that. And then maybe in a couple of years after that, come back, or City get a nice little whack on the sell-on clause and the transfer fees throughout his career. But it'd be nice to see him come back, wouldn't it? You know, we like to see young players come through. So if he can have a good year at Celtic, maybe then a move to, I don't know, lower half Premier League or something. See how he gets on, and then as we churn out the old boys in defence, maybe he'll have a role. Talking of old boys in defence, I think City needs to take a view on Ake and John Stones. No, I love John Stones. I think we all do. I love Ake. I think we all do. But the reality is, you know, Grealish played more games than John Stones last year, and Ake, you know, he's never been the most consistent in terms of fitness. But I think with last season fresh in the mind, I think they're going to take a view on one of them or both. I know there'll be someone in the comments talking about homegrown quotas and whatnot, but quite frankly, that's for someone else to worry about. I don't know if monkeys were born in Manchester, anywhere in the UK or Mars. We can't carry Akanji, Ake and Stones again for this season, I don't think. Although I'd say I'd keep Akanji, so that means one of the other two have got to go. We just can't carry them. They're not reliable. They've done too much money. The bean counters will want them out. And, you know, thank you very much. And the reality is they've got plenty. So if they need to take a haircut on the wages, then they're going to have to do that, because Ake, I don't think, will get into the Dutch squad playing from City's bench, and I don't think Stones will either. So if they want to go to the World Cup, they need to take a view where they want to go and what level they want to play at, and what sort of money do they want? Are they happy with? And take a view on that and do that pretty quickly. Kovacic, I know he's injured and he hasn't gone anywhere yet, but my God, I hope he does. I thought he let us down massively last season. He was bought as an experienced head, but I mean, did he show it really? Real Madrid at home, pathetic. You know, he got sent off in a must-win game at home to Bournemouth, chasing down his own mistake. You know, it's not what experienced players should be doing. 100 caps for Croatia, played for Real Madrid, City, Chelsea, and Inter Milan, and he still makes errors and brain-dead dribbles. And no, sorry, had enough. I can't be doing with you. Sorry, thank you very much, but you know, you've earned plenty while you're here. Go and play for somebody else. But yeah, nothing personal, but you just nod to it. Gundo, great player for us, great player, but this is 1 year too many. I don't mind if he stays, really. He knows where the net is still, I think. Looks half decent when surrounded by younger, energetic players, but I don't want to see him play, you know, dip in and out of the League Cup games and things of that nature. But, you know, if he's starting against Wolves, I think we've got a problem. But I don't think he will. You know, I don't think, you know, Pep's a lot of things. He's not blind. And so, you know, I imagine Wolves will be Rodri if he's fit, Nico G, Reinders, something like that. Bernardo Silva, the captain, something like that. I think Gundo's pretty low down the list. If he wants to stay and collect his money, fair dues. But if you want to go and play, you know, please do, because, you know, I don't really think we need you. Jack Grealish, not gone yet either. I'm pretty relaxed about this, really, because I think he will go. I don't think there's any way he'll stay at City at all. I don't care that he's come out and said he doesn't want to go anywhere. Everyone says that until it's time to go. The reality is we paid £100 million for a £50 million player, and we put him on £300 grand a week. which is beyond me, really. He'd have done it for half, wouldn't he? Let's be honest. He'd done it for 150 grand a week. And now, like United and Rashford, although they managed to get shot of him, we're lumbered with him. We're lumbered with him. But again, World Cup's coming up next year. You're not playing for us. You need to go somewhere else. I think he's been a disaster. I think he's been a disaster. Yeah, once upon a time he chased Salah down, and once upon a time he kissed a couple of mascots on the head and all the rest of it. And yeah, that's very nice. And your man of the people shtick's very nice and all that, and stumbling out of nightclubs and wherever else you'll stumble out from. And the odd nice treble winning picture, very good. But the reality is, you got 100 million quid 3 years ago. You had a good 9 weeks in the run up to the treble. You can't shoot, you can't head it. You're not particularly creative. You just run around winning free kicks for us and do very little else. So no, I'm afraid that might sound a bit harsh. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm a bit harsh, maybe I'm not. But he's not for me. I can't be doing with him. He's a time waster. And as soon as he's gone, and once the passage of time goes, I think people will come to realise that no matter how many people he shakes hands with and how many drinks he has in working men's clubs and whatever else it is he does. Okay, that's about it actually. But we'll just do a bit of any other business. United and Newcastle are in for Sesko, an £80 million player that I bet not many people have seen play. That won't stop people saying how great he is and what a great fit he's going to be for United or for Newcastle and everyone else. But United never buy a bad player, do they? We all know that. United never buy a bad player until they do. Until 6 months later, they realise all shite. Hoyland sounded like Haaland. He must be good. Rubbish. All of them. I'm not interested. Every one of them. So no, they think they're good when they buy them, and they're not. And I don't think this window will be any different for them. They'll probably finish 8th or something like that. Maybe get a draw against us in one of the 2 games. But the reality is we should be looking to beat them home and away pretty comfortably next season. And yeah, so thank you for watching the first episode of The Invisible Man. I think I'll do a Palermo preview, which will be out on Friday. I'm at a wedding Friday, so we'll record Thursday, I think. Put it out Friday. And then I'm at a wedding, so I can't do anything Friday. So shout to the happy couple. And yeah, I think I might do a review of that probably come out Monday. I think that'll come out Monday. But yeah, please like, subscribe, comment below any thoughts, feelings, constructive criticism, non-constructive criticism, to be honest. It all helps with the algorithm. So yeah, I'm Stephen. Thank you for watching the Invisible Man show, and see you again soon. Thank you.